till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the...
And welcome along. It is Friday and it means another sprint race in our championship. We're at Zolder here this evening. There's 4 minutes left in quali. And after a week off comms, having a break, I am back. Massive thank you to amigos, so Chris Tedder and John Dudley, that looked after my steward-in-chief for me on Wednesday. So I'll be doing that tomorrow night for the guys with a great race. And of course, Chris Tedder won last week's race and was very upset that I wasn't on comms, but sure, look, these things happen. And so we are now on to, for me, what's going to be a really, really good battle here this evening, because you've got Mr. Kerr out in front there by 0.452 of a second to Castellano at the minute. Giuseppe is improving. We jump on with Giuseppe as he's starting his lap. Looking down further, so it's a smaller grid this evening than normal on a Friday, but people will come and go in when they can race. And of course, with the weekend, I don't blame some letting off some steam tonight. I know up in Dublin tonight, Coldplay are playing, so, and there's no Irish sim racer that likes Coldplay that I'll be racing this evening. They'll be definitely up at that gig this evening. But Liam Smit out there as well, looking for a bit of crack here this evening. Of course, there's no splits in the Friday sprints. This was a hard race to the end. And DeLuca from EOS, he must have just joined in at the last minute. But there's no entry list this evening. I've kind of lifted the entry list and let anyone that wants to race for the Fridays. And we'll get going with that one. I think that's what we're going to be doing in the future. So the sprint series is going to be every Friday over the course of 8 races. But we're not going to have an entry list. We're just going to stream it, have fun, and race away. And the winner is the winner. Now, so let me have a nose at the full grid. Labrone is in second there for Or Squadra Racing. Castellanos in third. Our very own Morris Booton's in fourth for Supercharged Motorsport. DeLuca then for EOS is in fifth. Chris Tedder for Amigos in sixth. Of course, the race runner last week and good friends of ourselves. And then we've got Dominic Issa in P7. Dominic is in the untalented Lambo. Unfortunately, he sent me one file a little bit too late to try and get his livery in this evening. What we do know, the Intelligent Motorsport 101 livery is absolutely beautiful. Then we've Artem Usmanov for Supercharged, Chris Potikoff for Supercharged, Liam Smith for 2ID Racing Team, and there in P10, Andy Potikoff, of course, for Supercharged Motorsports, Fabio then for M4R, and then Energy Simulation is Anthony Ferrante then in P13 at the minute. So no one's massively improving, although Morris Boutan's improving a little bit. As I say that, he's lost it coming out of the last corner. He'll have one more bite at the cherry if he has the fuel to do so. Looking through here, Andy Potikoff's up a tenth or two. Needs to find a bit more though if he needs to jump another position. Of course, it is Chris then just ahead of him, but he needs slightly more than 2/10, but that's a nice one there. So he'll be able to go one more time. He's needs about 3/10 in this lap to jump a position now. So let's see how he gets on. So Kerr, Lavarone. Oh, Lavarone just went too wide. Kerr just luckily enough gets by. Now Kerr up a tiny amount of time here. The Lucas starting his last lap. Liam Smit is on a lap there, up a few tenths. Needs to find a bit more though to try and jump up another position. Of course, it's only a 30-minute race here this evening. No mandatory pit stops. None of that crack. It's just out and out racing to the end. And it should be quite a good bit of fun this evening here as well. Let me see what is going on in that world over there. That's good fun. Right, back to this here. So DeLuca is up a little bit of time at the minute. Kerr not up any time. He's down time invalidated. Liam Smith's up 4/10 of a second. Could get himself a position here. He just needs to get the exit right. I think he's lost a little bit going to the line. I don't think he's going to pip that position, though. He does! Good job by Liam. Gets up ahead of Artem Usmanov. That looked super close. Well done to Liam. We point at 0.3 or 2.8 or something like that of a second. That's unbelievable. So on Andy Polycott here, he's going to probably improve. He does. Gets ahead of Chris on the last lap. And that is it then for quali. Wow, wow, wow. It's going to be a good race, though. Of course, 30-minute sprint. It's just going to be flat-out action, hard racing. Double penalties for the first lap. So, should be fun. Now, so, as all that's going on, we'll just wait. And it's going to run, of course, our track time. Now, so, a bit of a night race this evening, and what should be really, 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 really good fun. So I'm going to do my usual, go through the cars. Luckily enough, I don't need to try remember names outside of it, because it's so little cars, to be fair. I should be fine. And of course, I'm going to go around the track first, come back to them. Turn 1 is going to be quite interesting. Hopefully the guys remember that. And of course then turn 2 is going to be super, super fun with 2 or 3 cars wide. And then these corners here is kind of, I don't know if you'd count them as corners because you can take them pretty much flat. But then this corner here, I'm sure we're going to see 2 or 3 wide into it. And this is the one where I'm going to see people either spin themselves or go flying over these carbs here. These sausage carbs will absolutely murder anyone who takes them wrong. Of course, you try and cut it as much as you can to carry much speed through. This corner for me is one of the most fun as well. A bit scary when you're side by side, if you do get one side by side, because nearly just off the bend you're going hard onto the brakes then for this chicane. And it's quite nice if you're on the inside line here, because you'll actually be able to defend a lot harder, because you'll have the inside then here as well as the inside line coming through. And for me, this is one of my favourite corners for overtaking. We should see a good bit of action here into the hairpin as well. And then it's all about getting that great exit then, because it's flat then the whole way down to the guys for the last corner, which is a little chicane as well. So without further ado, we're going to go through the grid now. So we've got Kerr, who is on pole position, with Lavaroni then in P2. I'm going to slow this down. Then in P3, we've got Giuseppe Castellano alongside Maurice Boutin in P4. These two guys having a little bit of a battle. Then in P5, we have De Luca alongside with Chris Tedder. Then in P7, it's Dominic Giese and Liam Smit then. In P8, side by side. Then we've got a huddle of supercharged drivers here. We have Artem Usmanov, Andy Polycott and Chris Polycott all lined up in the supercharged colours. Then we have Gilhardry then in P12 in that Ferrari. And then last but very not least is Anthony Ferrante in his Rockstar liveried BMW. Of course, the LFM Bop here as well. We'll go through that and I'll show you that here as well. LFM Bop here this evening. For the Ferrari, it's actually only minus 3 kg. And then that's pretty much it for the minuses with the cars that's picked here. Plus 6 kg for the McLaren. Plus 15 kg for the BMW. Then it is plus 4 kg for the Lamborghini. So yeah, some quite big differences there. So mad to see the McLaren gets up into P2, a BMW in P4 with a heavier weight disadvantage, and the Ferrari Pippin. Ferrari seems to be a very popular car on a Friday for the racing here. So let's see how they get on. I'm just going to try and get my mouse. Don't know what's going on here or why that's going on. Jesus Christ. Why is my mouse repeating itself? There we go. Don't know what's going on there, guys. Sorry about that. Anyway, why isn't my mouse working the way I wanted it? There we go. Eventually we get it sorted. Wouldn't be like me to be messing myself up. So we're going to wait for the race to start now, guys. 1 minute and 12 seconds to go. And I suppose time enough for me to announce if anyone watches this. How are you, Chris? I am starting up with Supercharged Motorsports in iRacing League. There is going to be a great title sponsor. I won't announce them just yet until I finalise the last few bits and bobs. It's going to be an IMSA championship running 8 races. 3 races are already live and ready to register on iRacing directly. Look for Supercharged Motorsport. Give us a follow once I accept in, register up. You'll be ready to go. And yeah, we're really looking forward to this. Super excited to finally get the iRacing League going and start pushing forward with introducing other sims in a sustainable manner as well, and add more racing. So the iRacing League is going to be on Sundays, and of course I will be then broadcasting on Sundays on this channel for our iRacing League also. So I'm really excited for this. I really am. So let's see how that goes as we're just about ready to go. 10 seconds, all engines are on, headlights on, cars ready to go. Some people flashing I see in there. And here we go. So they'll come around the final chicane, and then once they're all lined up on the main straight, just at the start line, then green light out and away they go. Of course, they have to go roll and start side by side if you're not used to doing a bit of GT racing. That may be new to you. Well, here we go. They're lining up. A lovely rolling start. I am super excited for this one. So Castellano gets a very good start there, although Lavarone is not. Oh, sorry, Kerr gets a great start, but Lavarone then right behind him. Castellano may lose out to Morris Boutin. He does indeed. Kerr somehow is holding on to the lead. Lavarone was thinking about going up the inside there, but then thinks against it. Morris Boutin then, as I say, holds it on to P3. Then it's Giuseppe Castellano. Then it's Chris Tedder. Tedder gets up a position there. De Luca goes down a position. Then after De Luca, look at Liam Smit going up the inside of De Luca here. Liam and De Luca had a tiny little touch there. Liam gets ahead. Dominic Gise is just behind De Luca. Dominic Gise trying to show his nose up the inside. He does go up the inside. Dominic Gise, oh, don't know what happened with Liam there, but he's missed the corner. So De Luca gets back by. Dominic Gise gets back by. Then Usmanov and Chris Polycock get by. Then he is going to be Andy Polycock behind Liam Smit. Luke, oh, Usmanov gets it a bit wrong there. And that, I think, was just all from what happened with Usmanov. We'll go back to that just in a little bit. I'm going to stick on with the action. Morris Boutin's just after getting by Lavarone there. Let me see what happened here. Lavarone on the exit got a bit sideways. He held it very well, but that was just enough for Morris then to slide it up the inside, and away he goes. That was lovely stuff there. Castellano then right behind as well. But Morris Boutin is 1.7 seconds behind Kerr after the first lap. So for Kerr, that's a great first lap. Has really pulled a nice advantage on him there. Morris Boutin then from Lavarone. Chris Tedder is putting the pressure on Giuseppe Castellano. Chris was saying he wasn't feeling it too much in qualifying. He didn't realise how far he's off. But I'll say it once, I'll say it again, and I'll probably say it a million times. Even if Tedder doesn't have a great qualifying, he's a race driver. He's all about endurances, and he finds the pace through the race and seems to always pull himself into a very good position. Of course, he can have some bad looking races as well, which happens as all at times, don't get me wrong. But yeah, Chris is someone I'm really excited to see how he gets on here this evening. While that's going on there, I'm just going to go back because you've got Andy Polycott just behind Usmanov with Gilhardry. Liam Smit then obviously being very unlucky. Liam up the inside here. It looks like I've got Gilhardry, and I'm assuming got the job done. He did indeed. So Gilhardry had to go back behind. Giuseppe Castellano is after massively. Oh, the curb killed him. Wow, that is super unlucky. I said it in the warm-up as well. Those curbs, everybody tries to take them as well. I follow for myself. You try and just take it as much as possible to try and screw off as little speed as possible through them. Unfortunately, they will send you literally like Ryanair in a flight. And unfortunately for Giuseppe, he has felt that this evening. But good for him, though. He has his teammate Leveroni still up in P3, fighting our very own Morris Bhutan. Chris Tedder now will be fancying to get involved in that action there as well. While that's going on, Liam Smit is starting to chase down Chris Polycott as well. Castellano's gotten by Anthony Ferrante already. Quite a bit of front damage on that car, but I think he's going to drive it to the end. It is only a sprint race. It wouldn't be beneficial, I don't think, at all for him to actually fix that. He has the pace to kind of get up to a good position anyway. So I do feel if he keeps going the way he is, then he should be fine. Oh, Liam Smith's after stopping on track. What the hell? Let me see, was there a reason, or is it just like the brake stuck on for him? Jesus Christ, that could have been disastrous. He's in the pits. He must have had an issue there. That could have been very tough for him. But luckily enough, he's back in the pits. I don't know what happened to him. Okay, Dominic sent me the foil. It's a little bit late now, but we'll use it for next week, and it's good to have it in the system as Leveroni is pushing on with Morris. You see Kerr out front there, not a worry in the world now. And Leveroni here is looking to try and find a way by, but of course Chris Tedder's just gone by there. But of course for him it's just going to be tough because Morris Bhutan is quite good at making his car wide as well. Polycott and Ferrante looking for a little bit of work. Oh, Anthony runs wide and gives Polycott the inside line, and wham bam, thank you ma'am, he says, I'll see you later alligator, and he goes up the door. Morris though is still under that pressure. Kerr actually is 3.2 seconds clear already after 5 minutes. Kerr is looking like he's going, oh, pedals to stop working, Lima, was it? That is really bad. Look, I thought the pedals stuck or something like that. The way it looked, it just like they just literally locked. Ah, okay. That's super unlucky, mate. Hopefully you can fix it. That's really annoying. You can join me in comms if you want, Liam. Looking here now. So Leveroni DeLuca is actually catching up to Tedder as well. So this is interesting. For me, what it's looked like, Chris might have had a moment somewhere because he's now nearly 3 seconds off the guys. So possibly he might have had a little moment there, and that's just enough for DeLuca to feel that. Although Morris Bhutan's now cleared a second and Leveroni as well. It's starting to kind of spread out a little bit other than this battle that we're looking at here. Liam, I would love to do comms with you, so if you fancy doing comms, mate, I will more than happy drag you into comms. I don't know if the world is ready for that. I don't think we've done comms on this channel, so that could be quite an interesting comms night. But yeah, Chris doing quite a good job at the minute keeping DeLuca behind. Fastest lap is Morris Bhutan with 127.907, Kerr 127.965, so it's slightly faster. So as you can tell, like the pace, not much in it in race trim at the minute. So be interesting now. Morris is 1.2 seconds clear. It's 3.1 seconds between Morris and Kerr at the minute. So if he can do something, if he can pull up there, that'd be quite impressive. Anthony Ferrante, I'm just going to give everyone a little look through while the gap isn't too bad. As I say, the gap isn't too bad. DeLuca here has a great go. He's going to have to get out of it. He does. He had a great run though. I mean, the tents were dropping down there, like really flying. So Chris is really on the defensive here. DeLuca though seems to be getting a nice run. That little bit of run wide could cost Tedder here a little bit of pace. DeLuca's going to go around the outside here. Chris is going to hold the inside. This is lovely driving. There's enough room left there. It's going to be a drag race down. Chris just gets back by. DeLuca though is going to be getting a tow. I have a feeling DeLuca might go for the move on the inside. No, he thinks better of it this time round. Chris was quite defensive with how he placed his car, which is very fair. It's fine to do that. And away they go on to the next lap there. So these guys are having a very good battle. It's all about strategy. Chris needs to focus ahead of him and not behind him. And DeLuca though doing his very best to try and crack the egghead of Chris Tedder. Very easily done. Just give him a maths problem or ask him to fix your sound issues. Chico Leanfard, appreciate that one. Dominic Gisa, because of this fighting, is now getting involved as well. So Dominic Gisa will actually be on them actually quite quick. He's now less than half a second within that there, so super interesting for that one. Looking then behind, it's still kind of spread out. Dominic takes just a little bit too much carb there. Got a little bit excited by the looks of it there. And has Castellano is now in the pits. Is he getting damage fixed? He's not in there all day, so it'll be interesting to see. DeLuca versus Tether versus Dominic is what we're looking at the minute. So they've pulled back a little bit from Dominic, but not enough. Oh, DeLuca gets a little bit sideways and is now coming back to Dominic here. So Tether's kind of got a little bit of breathing room. The fact that DeLuca has now made the error and had Dominic right up behind him again. So yeah, let's see how this one develops. Now Kerr at the minute hasn't really pulled away from Maurice Boutin. Maurice Boutin now has a nice gap there of a few seconds to Laveron as well. But I'm going to go through all the drivers as much as I can as well. I want to give everyone a bit of airtime here. And normally the race leader doesn't get much airtime, but we'll give him a little bit today. Sure, why not? There's absolutely no harm. So Graham Kerr flying along. Let there be no panic. Sorry, just getting a drink there. Oh, DeLuca's had a moment. And the curb has struck again. He has to just wait for the cars to go by, which I thankfully say he has done. Okay, so away he goes again, and luckily for him, no damage, just the damaged ego, that's about it. But these things do happen. So Gilhardry there doing a nice job now up into P9. Gilhardry is actually up 3 positions as well, so that's not a bad start for him for this one there, as Liam Smit was unfortunately disconnected now and left the chat because his pedal issue has kind of, yeah, you expect him not to be too bad about it, but unfortunately has ruined his race tonight. But I'm sure he'll get that sorted, do a driver update or what needs doing with it, and he'll be back then on Wednesday, all going well. I am a fan of the Smith brothers, to be fair. And of course, we Matty Gamble. Although I think we Matty Gamble's still off with the Bjors in his Bora going, woo! So it'll be probably interesting to see, does he come back in the winter time to racing or not. Sometimes you need a break away from all that as well, though. So it'll be interesting. Castellanos just sitting in the pits. DeLuca recovering slowly but surely. Gilhardy on next for him. And at the front, the guys have actually spread out a little bit already. So, be interesting now. So Kerr is what, about 4.5 seconds clear of Maurice Boutin now as well. And Laveroni then 1.1 seconds off him. Then Gisa is 8.2 seconds off. I didn't realise Gisa got by Tether. Sorry, I missed something with Tether there. 999. Race control. Let me see what happened here. Did it happen off the camera? No, they're side by side. It doesn't actually show what happened though in that replay. That's quite annoying. Interesting though. Obviously something did happen. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. Dominic Gisa is ahead. Of course, I did see DeLuca spinning himself, but I don't understand where Tether was in this then. I'm sure Chris will let me know after when I go in and annoy him. But I won't annoy him on the race, and he's in a chat there with Dominic anyway. He's 2.4 seconds off him and trying to catch up with him as well. Probably got 2.73 seconds clear. He needs to pull that in. He has been pulling that in. He's dropped in now. He's less than 3 seconds off the Luca now. So he is trying to push that up there. Anthony Ferrante having a solid race. And this driver is improving week in and week out. You look at where he was compared to where he is now. It is night and day in fairness to him. So he's getting there, which is what we love to see. Kerr's last lap, by the way, was the fastest lap of the race, the 1:27.787. So he's definitely starting to amp up that pace. Hence, the gap is now in the mid-4s for Kerr against Maurice Boutin. Maurice Boutin now over 2 seconds clear of Leverone. Dominic Issa is 8.4 seconds behind, so quite a bit of a gap for Dominic Issa if he's trying to get himself a podium position here this evening. But it's never undoable, as we're literally only coming up to halfway through the race. Anything can happen. Those curves can send you to Timbuktu as well, so it's one of those things. It's a big shame not to see Liam being able to finish the race as well. I sub to his OnlyFans. He's a legend. What a dude. So while all this is going on, we're just sticking on with Kerr for a minute, because I'm going to give everyone a minute or two of time in the stream as well, because why not? It's kind of spread out a little bit now, so why not give everyone a bit of time to jump on with Morris here now. You see Leverone still within kind of just under 3 seconds of him, but Morris though is pushing forward, which is good to see. So what was Morris' lap this time around? The 1:28.005 versus Leverone's 1:29.1. Wow, okay, so seems that Morris is able to kind of stick similar pace. Kerr was a 1:27.927, so when Morris is losing just less than 1/10 of a second, he's still thereabouts. So Morris doing a phenomenal job. I'm always delighted with having him in our team. It's a genuine pleasure. And he's the one person who'll call you out if there's something not ready or anything like that, but not in a mean way. Just to make sure things are right. He's a guy who wants it done right, and I respect that. He's a legend. Then behind him, then we jump on with Leverone, of course, Gen 4 Squadra Racing Team. I've had plenty of dealings with these guys between penalties and racing and stuff like that, but the one thing I'll say, Tony's their team manager, and I absolutely have nothing but respect for Tony and Giuseppe and the guys there as well. Of course, I'm not going to get on with everybody in the team, and they might find some penalties hard. I might find some of the racing hard, but we've got that mutual respect, and I think that's very important in any kind of endurance or league racing, to respect the other teams. And there's a right way and a wrong way about doing things, and that's one thing I can genuinely say. I have a decent respect for these guys throughout everything. Then in P4 we jump on down with Dominic Issa. There's nothing else to say other than I absolutely love the chap. He races in Untalented Motorsport, races for Amigos though as well, with Chris and the guys. Dominic is an absolute legend. He's not just a sim racer, he's a school teacher, lifeguard and male model, and a big fan of the Germany handball team as well. Then I'm going to go on to Chris Tedder, of course, the owner of Amigos Racing League, aka Amigos. And yeah, Chris is a legend. I've known Chris all of my ACC life pretty much. He's always been running Amigos. I met him through doing stuff with another community to kind of rescue that from its knees, and that worked out very well. He kind of left that then and continued focusing on Amigos. I started back up what is Supercharged Motorsport now over a year ago, and I've been very close to Chris ever since, and really work well together in terms that our leagues never compete with each other. We work together, we help each other out, and we push forward together, and I've nothing but respect for good people like that there. And of course, like, he's salt of the art. Bit of a torpedo, but salt of the art. Then Usmanov, another great driver. Of course, we were delighted to get him on board with ourselves. Always shows up and races hard, is what we love to see. And he has a cool name, Usmanov, like, come on. I wish I had a fancy name like that. But no, Ayrton's a very good driver. He's solid. He's consistent. And he always brings it home, which is the main thing. For me, the most important thing is getting a car and bringing it home. Then we have the first of the Polycots. And these guys, I'm glad somehow I convinced them to come and race with us, because what I love about them is they'll show up and race their absolute asses out and have fun doing so. I don't think I've ever seen them giving out, ever. Be it an incident gone against them, be it being took out. You know, they've always just, like, they're a genuine pleasure to have in the league, and I was really happy then when I kind of just somehow was able to convince them to come and race under our umbrella. Of course, with Nathan Warren as well. So delighted to have the Polycots in. The Luca he's a face I haven't seen in quite a while, so this might be a once off. I'm not sure. I know I used to have a few of the EOS guys in, and I like the Luca. He is a very, very good driver, and I used to race alongside these. They do racing Amigos as well, the EOS guys, and it's good to see them here, and I'm glad to see Gianluca Di Luca back as well. Hopefully he'll have a few more races than that. How are you doing, Aces? Hope you're keeping well, bro. Sadly, there's no Aces racing here this evening. If you remember, in Austria, there was a lovely BMW that caused a minor pile-up. That was himself, but Ace is a legend. He's a professional comms, but also just a good guy in general. He's always very helpful in that, and I'm pretty sure we're kind of close to maybe agreeing for him to become an admin in our community. And yeah, we'll discuss that further whenever availability's there. I'm going to jump on with Gilhardry here next. Now, Fabio Gilhardry would be known in our community, and this is one of the tougher conversations I had with M4R. I did for the Wednesday season. He did get a ban this season, but thanks to Ryan O'Sullivan, his understanding of that, it's only for this season and it wasn't that and more severe. And I'm looking forward to seeing his progression with M4 and as a driver, how he develops now over the next few months as well, and to see how he does keep moving forward. How are you doing, Trevel? Hopefully you're doing well like that. I never called you out, Aces, did I? I'd be batting myself. But yeah, no, I like Gilhardry. I like that he took the ban on the chin and is a good guy, and he seems to be mature and being able to move forward. So I'm honestly looking forward to see how he gets on next season and as he develops as a driver, which is always something I do love seeing, is all the drivers' names as they get faster and better and kind of seeing where they go. Next up, Andy Polycott there. Absolute legend, as I was saying about Chris. Delighted to get them in on board with our team and under our umbrella, because I just love people who show up, race in, week out, and they don't give out, they don't care. Well, not that they don't care, but they don't see the point in arguing whether an incident is against them or for them. They just get on with it and enjoy the race. And Anthony Ferrante is a driver who I would love to have a league full of as well. He shows up week in, week out and develops, and like his development mightn't be probably as fast as he wants. He probably wants to be a bit further up. Of course, everyone does, but his development since he started racing with us is massive. Like, he's not majorly off the pace now, where before he was quite a bit off the pace. He'd admit that himself. So for me, he's been a massive development moving forward, and I'm super excited because in the Wednesday season, he's always getting involved with a bit of action, and he's getting up there as well. Oh, as he runs a bit wide with me, bigging him up, of course. So looking forward to seeing Anthony just keep getting better as well and moving forward. But yeah, Aces, for anyone who doesn't know as well, once we get him in as an admin, that's his life over. He doesn't realise that yet. But yeah, no, you should give Aces a look out. I know he does streams with other things and that, but he does have his own YouTube, or is it Twitch, Aces 444, something like that. I'm sure he can drop the link in. And I'm just going to kind of talk to our own events that's coming up as well. We do on the 15th of September have a fun endurance 3-hour race with GT2s, GT3s, GT4s. Choose what you want. It's all live on SimGrid now. You can do it solo or as a duo. That's entirely up to yourself. With the Wednesday season running, of course, we're midway through that season pretty much now, and quite a bit further in this one here in the sprints. So we'll be prepping the new seasons of ACC now over the next while, and then we've the iRacing League starting in 2 weeks, a little bit under 2 weeks now. I think it's the 8th of September we're going for, so less than 2 weeks away. I need to start pushing that this week. Once I finalise the sponsorship, I'll push it out there on SimGrid, Grid Finder, and it's free to enter as well, so there's no charge. Like a lot of communities, there is a charge to race in them. For me, there's no charge to race in our community, and we're hopefully able to have a prize or two as well now with the sponsorship that's coming in. And it's going to be IMSA, so it'll be a mixture of GTP. You'll have the Lara LMP2 car as well as the GT3s, and that's going to be an 8-race season. I think the first race I've set up for is the Daytona road course, so that should be fun along with Road America. And then I think I have Malego down there as well, just to kind of give a European track into it. Alongside that, then Amigos have a racing league on Monday nights with amazing racing. I do try to get to race there when I can. Of course, I haven't been there as much as I wanted this season, but they always have a great league. And then in our community as well, from the guys in LFI, we have their hot lap time trial. I don't know what you'd call it. It's a fun server. Obviously, you join and sign up with LFI in their Discord, but then the updates come through our own Supercharged Motorsport community. I have a live update there with there, as well as their own community, and it's good fun. You go in, it's kind of like a dick swing each month. You can go in there and do hot laps, and you're just basically kind of showing who's faster, and it's a bit of fun competition. And not that I should know, but I definitely know they're going to be setting up a league race soon, a new season in LFI, but that's all I genuinely know on it. So there'll be more from that. I'll happily give them a shout out when that does happen. But back to the race with 5 minutes to go. I was able to fill in quite a bit there, wasn't I? Just giving updates on leagues. And we've got a drive-through there for Chris Policott. That's going to be quite tough for him. Not tough, though, for Andy, who's going to gain a position from it, but he's fighting. Looking to gain another position there with Gilhardry. And let's see what Gilhardry does here. 0.2 of a second. Ooh, that was super close there. I think Andy might just have a little bit more pace overall. So it'll be interesting. Can he get by? It's very hard sometimes. You catch him on the brake, then it slows you down. You lose that bit of momentum. But getting back into it now. Honestly, this is my favourite corner in this track. It's just absolutely epic. These guys, though, are having a good ding-dong. I think in the pit now is Chris serving that drive-through. He may stay ahead of Anthony Ferrante. All going well for him. And actually, one thing I haven't looked at, has there been many incidents? Thank you guys, because so far I don't have much to go through, which makes my life a lot easier. I can actually do the steward on this one directly after the race and have it live. And then I'll do the Wednesday steward on tomorrow, because there's a little bit more than that, not a major amount, but I'll get that done tomorrow and up live. But back onto this, so Gilhardry has been overtook while I was talking away, of course. And he is now 0.6 off Andy, and then Chris Policott's at 14 seconds then behind him. That's quite tough for Chris after being in such a good position as well. But these things happen. So I'm going to run from the back of the grid. So Ferrante, from Chris Policott, from Gilhardry, from Andy Policott, from De Luca then in P7. Usmanov is in P6. Tedder is in P5. Dominic Gisa is in P4. Lavarone is in P3. Morris Boutin is in P2. But this guy here, Graham Kerr, is doing a phenomenal job out in P1. He's been rapid from start to finish, qualifying a pole, fastest lap, and of course leading the race at the minute there as well. So he's having quite a flawless race, and I'm sure confidence in abundance there for him. So on here with Morris Boutin now as well, seeing how he's getting on. Nicely done for Morris. DeLuca kind of just by himself. Like at the minute, it's kind of spread out here now, guys. So just sometimes you will have a sprint race where it's all action. Sometimes the likes of Zolder, some people may struggle, some people will absolutely excel. And it's just been one of those kind of race nights. And of course, we lost Liam early on with his brake pedals having an issue. So, not the greatest number that we've ever had racing in our community, but these things do happen. And let's get on with it. But now looking up there now, we're down to 1 minute and 32 seconds left. I'm pretty sure there should be one more lap. So this is the second last lap for Graham. Giuseppe, you will be getting the DNF. You set in the pits. Probably just watching the race, but yeah, Lavarone's done a good job in P3. For him, once he lost that position to Morris just had the slight edge in him then. But in qualifying, obviously, Morris did start behind him. Dominic Gisa had a very good race. I think he's up 2 or 3 positions. He's up 3, yeah. Lavarone's down 1. Morris is up 2 positions, so Morris actually started 4th. Then Tedder's up 1 position. He started 6th, but he was up 1 more. Usmanov's up 3 positions. DeLuca's down 2. Polycott's up 3. Andy, that is. Gilhardry's up 3. Chris Polycott, even with losing several positions, is still up 1 position. Anthony Ferrante is up 2. Then, of course, we Liam and then Giuseppe, who have, unfortunately, had a DNF. But we're on to the last lap here now with Graham Kerr. And he's had, as I say, a flawless race. Oh, just the fastest in qualifying, fastest in the race. He has the fastest lap as well. Now, the fastest car on track is actually Maurice Boutin. He's at 235 kilometers an hour at speed trap, while Kerr is 232 at the speed trap. Oh, interesting. Slowest car is Ferrante, Gilhardry, DeLuca 230. And then Tedder and Gisa in around the 233, 234 mark there. But yeah, honestly, it's actually been quite an enjoyable race. I had a week off and I kind of missed doing the comms. Sometimes work's was busy, but I've decided to move my days that I work at home to the Wednesday and the Friday to make sure I have availability. Because otherwise I'm at nothing chasing my tail. But this is it for Graham. Coming up now to the penultimate corner. Phenomenal stuff from him. Absolutely phenomenal. We started with a kind of daylight and we've worked through into the night. Phenomenal stuff there. Graham Kerr gets his race win here. Flashing the lights, crossing the line there. Maurice Boutin then coming around in P2 there now. I'm sure he'll be quite happy with that one there. And nice points for him. With Lavarone then coming home in P3. Dominic Gise then coming up in P4. Chris Tedder not too far behind him. Chris was actually starting to pull in there. And Dominic then comes around and gets himself P4. And our boy Chris Tedder then just behind comes home for P5. Then we have Usmanov coming home then in P6. Great job from him. Then we've got DeLuca in P7. Andy Collicott in P8. Gilhardry in P9. Chris in P10. Ferrante in P11. And then, of course, 2 DNFs due to the pedals for Liam Smit. And yeah, no, honestly, Trevel, very decent race pace. A lot of the guys were in the 129s and 128s at times as well. So I think the fastest lap was a 127.787, and Kerr was kind of averaging low 28s. Maurice Boutin was kind of mid to low 28s as well. Lavarone similar as well. Like honestly, they've all been doing very good stuff. But yeah, that was good fun, guys. We will be back on Wednesday for our next round, which is in Zolder as well, for the Wednesday championship. But yeah, that's good. So I want to thank you for watching the stream, and we'll see you for the next race. And if you're looking to get involved with racing with ourselves, let us know, join the community, and if there's something that we can't offer you that one of our affiliated leagues have, we will happily point you in the direction of what you're looking for. Have a great evening, and we will see you Wednesday.